Hi everyone, welcome back to Beatbox Basics with me, Mr. Shay. This is lesson 3 and we're going to be looking at how to add bass lines to the beats that we've learnt. So before we get there, I hope you've warmed up. Hopefully you have. Remember the facial exercises. I hope you've also got your water ready, yeah? So you're going to be needing that as we do every session. And we're going to do a recap of what we've looked at already in the previous sessions. And to do that, we are going to switch over to our presentation. So the recap, we've already done this, but it's very important to go over our sounds, our individual sounds again. We looked at the kick, the hi-hat and the snare. We've got the B, the T and the K. We've got hopefully you've got those and you're keeping the practice up with those sounds to get them nice and clear. We looked at the different rhythms. First we had 3 and then we added another one. Let's look at the first 3. So the simple boots and cats was nice. The second rhythm was boots and cats ticka ticka boo cats, which went okay. And the third one we looked at was which incorporated rests into the beat. Okay. We looked at breathing techniques. So we had 2 methods of breathing with this rhythm, and method 1 was like that, and method 2 was the quicker breath, which was okay. So hopefully you've been practicing that. We also looked at rhythm 2 with the breath technique. Again, the 2 ways of breathing. The first one with the slightly longer breath. And so on. And breath 2, which is a shorter breath. Yeah, so those are the 2 methods that we learnt. We really emphasized that breath last week. We looked at how we could turn it into more of a sound, or we looked at just keeping it very subtle. Let us just recap the breathing techniques with a backing beat, adding some tempo to it. Join in with me on this just to have that practice again, and we can warm up with this and before we get to the next section of this lesson. Here we go. One, 2, 3 with me. All right, good job. So well done if you've been practicing and you got that straight away. And again, like I say, with all of these activities, just pause the video or spend a bit longer on certain things if you need to. But well done for carrying on with that. We're going to move forward and look at our recap of rhythm 4. So the last thing we looked at in our session in lesson 2 was rhythm 4, which was boots and cats ticka ticka boo cat ticka boo boo cats ticka ticka boo cats, which goes like this. Do you remember that? Okay, so let's see if you can do that with me. Let's just warm up with that with a call and response. I'll go first, you go after me. Ready? So me first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. Okay, so we're up to speed now. So let's see how we can progress with this rhythm by adding a bass line. So this is rhythm 4 again, but as you can see, some of the sounds are slightly different. you can see by the way they're spelt. You instead of the boots and cats, ticka ticka boo cats on the top row, you've got bumt on the second row. Instead of you've got now to show you how to get there, we're gonna have to break the sounds down, and I'm gonna just have to get a note reference here. Let me just get it. So when we are creating these sounds, these new sounds, we have the which is essentially a hum sound, like that. And what that does is it kind of recreates the sound that a bass line would do underneath, because it's quite a hum is quite a deep sound, so it kind of recreates that bass line effect. And there are things that you can do to make it even deeper, so we're going to look at that later. But for now, the starting point is just a hum. We are going to break it down by first starting with the hum. We're going to look at the first sound, which is the BMMT. It sounds like this. We're going to break it down by just humming first. So repeat after me. Yeah, you got that. Now we're going to add a kick drum at the start. Nice. And now we're going to end that sound with a hi-hat. So it's like this. That's it. That is the sound. And this is all of these sounds that we're looking at now, we're going quite advanced here, because now we're adding two sounds together to create hybrid sound. We've got the sound of the kick or the drum sounds, as well as a hum in the back, and you're doing it at the same time. So we're progressing quite a lot here. Okay, so the second sound that we're going to look at is the bunk, which is basically the first sound that we just looked at again, but we're ending it in a slightly different way. Instead of the hi-hat, you've got the snare, the K snare to end. So again, repeat after me. We're going to start with the hum. We're going to add the kick drum at the start. And we're going to end with the K snare. So nice. Okay, you're doing well. Let's go with the third sound, which is basically the hum with a kick drum at the start, just twice. So let's start with the hum first. And now we're just going to add the kick drum at the start. Nice. And finally, the fourth sound that we're going to see is the which is quite a complex sound, but we break it down with the hum. It's this is how it sounds. So let's start with the hum again. Let's add the kick drum. Nice. Now let's add the at the end. So okay, so hopefully you're getting those and you're picking it up. Now I'm going to contextualize it by putting it in the rhythm and seeing how it sounds within the rhythm. We're going to do line 1 first, and then we'll try some call and response with the whole line. So, again. Right, so let's see if you can join in with me with some call and response. If you're not ready for the call and response just yet, you can pause that video and you can catch up in a second. Okay, so let's see if we can put that together in line 1. Let's do some call and response. This time I need to make sure that the note that I'm humming is going to be the note of C. So I'm just going to check what that is. Because when we put it with the music or the backing beat, it's got to sound right. So here's some call and response. See if you can keep up with me. Me first, then you. Line 1 first. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. After me. Good, good, good. Okay, so if you got that, well done. If you need to keep practicing, no problem, go for it. However, we're going to try the call and response for line 2, which sounds like this. Okay, let's see if you can join in after me. And 1, 2, 3, after me. Good, good, good. Okay, so I think you're ready to put it all together, both lines. This time you're going to join in with me. I'll count you in and we'll all go together. Here's a demonstration of what it's going to sound like. So after the 4 counts, join in with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good job. If you're keeping up, well done. If you need to keep practicing again, please don't be afraid to pause the video and practice again. We're gonna practice further anyway with the backing beat now. So we're gonna introduce the backing beat. We're gonna add some definite tempo there and see if we can all keep up. Okay, so here we go with the backing beat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 with me. Good job. So if you're keeping up, you're doing an amazing job because we're getting quite complicated here. We're mixing together 2 sounds at the same time. Right, so if you're ready for the next step, which I think you are, let's move on to the second phrase of this rhythm. And you might recognize this from last lesson because we put it all together in a certain combination, and the second half of it was rest, clats ticka ticka boot, clats ticka boot boot, clats ticka ticka boot, clats. So that was from last lesson. So the way this is going to sound with our new bass lines, you've already familiar with these sounds already, the boom clat, the boom boom, and the boom clats. Okay, except this is going to go rest, cats ticka ticka boom, cats ticka boom boom, cats ticka ticka boom, cats, rest, cats ticka ticka boom, cats ticka boom boom, cats ticka ticka boom, cats. So I'm going to demonstrate that with the beatbox sounds, and it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Rest. All right, so let's see if you can do some call and response with me. We'll go for line 1 first of this phrase and then line 2 after. So line 1 first, call and response. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 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 Hopefully you got that. Well done if you did. let's try the second line now, and that's going to be, we've done that already. It's the same thing as the previous pattern that we did, which is so call and response with me, line 2. 1, 2, 3, me first. Right, okay, well done. Let's see if we can put both lines together now, and that's going to sound like this. I'll demonstrate and then we can do it together. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. Rest. Right, so are you ready to join in with me? 1, 2, 3, all together. Rest. 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 Good, good. So let's see if we can put it with the backing beat and keep playing along with the tempo. Ready? Nice deep breath in. Here goes the tempo. I count us in after 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 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 Amazing work if you've got that. If you got that far, you're doing so well, and you'll be ready for the next step. Again, if you've got to practice, please feel free to keep practicing, but you're doing a fantastic job. So here is the final recipe. This is the final combination of putting the first phrase with the second phrase to get this here pattern, which we did look at last week, but this is the bass line version of it. The same version, adding a bass line with our hums. So this is going to sound like this. Rest. Rest. And so on and so forth. So as you can see in the end of the phrase, right at the end after the 4th line, we've got that slight breath there, and you can choose which one you want to take, the quick breath or the one where you've got more time, to just get your breath back up to go back round again. So to make sure you utilize that breath to keep breathing. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to try together first, or let's go straight into it with the backing beat. Okay, so see if you can join in with me, because you've already done it separately. Now we're just putting it together. Okay, so we'll go around a few times with the backing beat. Ready for it? Let's do it. All the best. You can keep up. I know you can. After 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you kept up with that, huge round of applause. Fantastic work. this is quite a complicated thing that we're doing now. We've got rests, we've got breath work, we've got bass lines, and we've got interesting drum patterns here. So you're doing an amazing job, and if you were almost kept up, again, amazing job. Even if you tried it, an amazing job. Just keep practicing that. Again, pause it if you need to and keep going over it. Practice makes perfect. So congratulations if you got it. Moving forward, I'm going to introduce an advanced technique. Okay, so if you feel like you're ready to follow this, then let's introduce the advanced technique. So this is a variation or a progression on the hum. Instead of you get it's like a robotic, grungy, revving sound is what I call it. Now to get to it, let me demonstrate the rhythm first with that new technique. It's going to go. Okay, that's how it sounds. So now to get there, you've got to imagine a car revving sound. Like, the best way to explain it is if you try to impersonate how a car sounds when it's starting off with your throat, you go. And it's quite a grungy sound on your throat, and it's created by putting your throat into action and creating quite a crunchy sound. Now to get there, you're gonna need a lot of water, right? Because this can be quite, if you do it for a long time, you can get quite a soreness on your throat. So make sure you keep drinking water and take regular breaks when practicing this technique. So keep that water down you, and try it with me. So here's the hum. You introduce the grunge with your throat. And as you saw, I opened my mouth a little bit to change the kind of the filter sound of it. So it goes hum first. Back to humming. So you can see the difference between the hum and the grungy hum. That's called a throat bass. This technique is called a throat bass because you're using the throat to create a bassier texture. So this is an advanced technique and it takes a while to perfect. So if you don't get it in this session, not a problem. You got to keep practicing that to get there. But we're going to see if you have got it, or if you've practiced. Maybe you pause the video and then you come back to it. Let's see if we can put the sounds into this rhythm. You're going to try it with me with the backing beat. Here we go. Okay, so some throat bass if you're ready for it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3 with me. So it might sound and feel a little bit weird at the start, but if you keep advancing with this technique, you'll have the opportunity to do some really cool sounds and some really cool hybrid noises. So like I say, every week, keep practicing. We learned how to develop our breathing, humming for bass lines, and the throat brace to advance ourselves. So that's all we've got time for this session, but join us next time where we'll be advancing our techniques, maybe looking at some melody, maybe learning a tune as well. But thank you for joining me. I've been Mr. Shay from Leicestershire School's Music Service, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.